So what is my advice to people? Keep people out of your relationship. Hey, it's your girl, Twila Cole, aka Sister Cole. And how's my beautiful people doing this morning? Okay, we're going to get into this video on relationships. But you know what, guys? Y'all know what I need you to do. I need you to like, share, leave a comment, give me a thumbs up because I'm trying to get out here in these YouTube streets. Now, let's get into this video, honey. All right, so we're going to be talking about relationships today. I have a couple of videos already about relationships on my channel. However, I've got new subscribers and I'm going to do it again, okay? Because relationships is something that, we love to talk about. People love to hear it, and I love to share advice, okay? I'm looking for my little notes here because I want to stay on track, because once I start talking, honey, I will be all over the place. All right, so listen, these are my tips, okay? We can agree to disagree. You may not even like my tips, and that is fine. That's okay. This is what worked for me in my 32 years of marriage. So I am not saying that this is the be all, that this is it. These are the steps. This is what you have to do, because all of us is different. All of us operate different. All of us believe different. Okay. So this is just my opinion and how it works for me. And the old folks used to say, eat the meat, spit out the bone. So if you see any meat in here that you want to eat, go ahead. And if you don't, guess what? Spit that bone right on out, okay? All right, so now the first thing that I'm going to say that helped me in my 32 years of marriage, the very first thing is having a relationship with God. And I'm not saying this as cliche, because some people would be like, yeah. But when you have that relationship with God where you respect God and the ordinances, of God, and, those things, that which is in you, it will come out in your daily living, your actions, and your behavior. And when you have a reverence to who God is and what he stands for, and you follow the word and you try to apply it or make it applicable in your life, then it will help you govern or communicate or work in your relationship, because you know what it is to respect God. So that same wisdom and respect and that knowledge that you show toward God, it will come out in the relationship. And you will have you would have something to reverence, which is the word of God, the ordinances of God, right? And because you have that you reverence, you understand, then you will have that. In return, you will have that respect in the relationship, and I hope that makes sense. It gives you something to stand on. It gives you something to believe, and it helps govern your behavior and your actions. So I would definitely say the number one thing for me and for my husband is to have that reverence for God, to have that relationship with God. And that helps us to have reverence for one another. It helps us not to go over certain boundaries or not to do certain things that we know. And if we do something, or if we have done something, because, let me tell you, in marriage, you're going to make some mistakes. You have something that will pull you right back, something that will govern you and say, you know what, that was wrong. That was out of the will of God. That ain't even right. And it will pull you right back. Okay. So having a relationship with God is number one. The second thing that I would say is being mature. You have to be mature in relationship. In a relationship, you have to be mature, because when you are mature, you're able to say, you know what? I was wrong. When you are mature, you're able to say, you know what, let's sit down and discuss. Let's just talk about this. And when you're in a relationship, you're able to say, you know what, well, I didn't even know that. You're able to, you're able to learn. You understand? You're able to be teachable. You're able to just sit down and just be like, wow, wow. Well, I really didn't see it like that. That's when you're mature. That's what maturity is. Maturity is able, to just sit down, think, and to say, I'm sorry, or I didn't know no better, or listen, we need to do this, we need to do that. You understand? If you are immature, you understand, then you're going to mess up a lot of stuff in your relationship, because immaturity looks like no self-control. Immaturity looks like, you're going to jump before you think. Immaturity looks like, nanny, I can't hear you. That's what that looks like, So, you got to be able to be mature so that you can handle the different stages, the different situations that you will go through in marriage. All right. So the next tip I would say is compromise. All right. In a relationship, there's going to come a time when compromise is going to have to be made. The reason why this is because you are two people that are coming together as one unit. However, the fact remains that you are still two individuals with your own ideology, with your own ideas, and with your own thoughts, and which is okay. There's not going to be two people who's going to be like, we think exactly as one. We are one. I mean, come on, let's stop that. Honey, it doesn't exist. You are two different people. And it's okay to have different ideas. It's okay that, you have different thoughts. You understand? But the thing is that you have to be able to come together and you compromise. You say, well, you know what? Yeah, I don't really like blue, but because you like blue, all right, since you like blue, maybe we can do blue on Tuesdays. You understand what I'm saying? You come together, you compromise, and you work it out. It is foolish to think that everything is going to go your way, or everything is going to go, my way. It's foolish to really think that. You will not get far if that's how you believe. You understand? You're going to be like a little putt-putt truck that's going to run out of gas. Eventually, you're going to run out of gas in the relationship, because there's no such a thing as everything going, your way or your husband's way. No, it doesn't work like that. You got to be able sometimes to bend and say, something, all right, yes, we can do it this way, or yes, we can do it that way. In my 32 years, there has definitely been compromise. You understand? Because even though we've been married 32 years, even though, we get along at times, you understand? There are times when we don't. There's times when we surely don't agree. And there are times when we butt heads. But because God is first, and because we are mature, and because we compromise, then it all comes together. It all comes together. So yes, honey, you have to definitely learn how to compromise. You understand? You can't bring in that behavior where you think you right all the time. Take two seats. That's not going to work. All right. Another thing is keeping people out of your relationship. This is one of the biggest mistakes that people do. You understand? Something happens, in the relationship, right? Let's take cheating, because that is a big one, right? Cheating happens in a relationship. Okay, guess what? You're upset. You're mad. You're out of control. And the first thing some people do is pick up the phone, or they put their business on social media, or they go out in the middle of the street and they carry on. Oh, he did this. He did that, or she did this. She did that, Oh, they telling everybody. And next thing you know, they done told their whole secrets. Well, this ain't the first time, because 10 years ago, or 2 years ago, 2 months ago. Listen, honey, that is the wrong move. That is the wrong move, because 9 times out of 10, you guys will probably stay together, right? 9 times out of 10, you have a beautiful relationship. Okay, but you made the mistake, or he made the mistake. You understand? You have to think. When these things happen, think first. Sit down, talk to yourself, speak to yourself, and say, listen, let me just calm down. Let me just calm and relax my nerve. And then you go back and you do what? You communicate. Communicate, you understand, while you have wisdom. Communicate, you understand, while you compromise. Communicate while you are mature and you talk out the situation. Now listen to me. If you, after a situation like that happens, all of us are different. If you don't want it to work, then you don't want it to work. If you want to leave, then you leave. Whatever it is that you decide, it's totally on you. Because I'm not here telling people, you'll stay in it. No, that's up to you. But what I am saying is to to keep people out. Make the decision on your own. Make sure it is your decision. You understand? Make sure it's your husband's decision. Make sure it's y'all's decision. Not Betty down the street. Not Tyrone in a whole nother state. Not grandmama them, not mama them. You understand? Make sure it's y'all's decision, because you guys are going to live with your decision. Like I said, people will tell you anything. People will say, girl, or man, or bruh, you need to leave that. You need to do this, because if it was me, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And let me tell you something, they're not going to do jack. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to do nothing that they're telling you to do. They're not doing nothing that they're telling you to do. You understand what I'm saying? They'll have you mess up your whole life. They will have you mess up your whole relationship. And listen, sometimes people are not speaking out of true hearts. Sometimes people not speaking out of a good heart, for the betterment of you. Sometimes people can be speaking out of envy, out of jealousy. Sometimes people can be speaking out of hurt, out of trauma. You understand? And, just giving you wrong advice based on what they are feeling. So keep people out of your relationship. You understand? Sometimes a marriage or a relationship can be salvaged. You understand? Sometimes it can be salvaged. And yes, it can work. And guess what? You learn from the mistake and you move on. You understand? And yes, you move on, and you might have to face another mistake or another issue. You understand? But the thing is that you and your partner are coming to the conclusions, or what it is that you're going to decide in your relationship. Not bitter Betty. You know what I'm saying? Not hurt Tyrone. No, you and your significant other is going to come to whatever it is that you guys agree on. All right. Another thing that I would say is forgiveness. You're going to have forgiveness in a relationship. You understand? Especially if it's a relationship that is worthwhile saving. There are sometimes you're going to have to forgive, because as people, we make mistakes. Sometimes it's not a mistake. Sometimes we walk with our eyes wide open into situations that is not right, things that we should not do, but if you truly love the person, sometimes you're going to learn how to do what? To forgive and say, you know what? You talk about it, you communicate, and you say, you know what? I love you. You love me. This is something that I shouldn't have done, or this is something that you shouldn't have done. But you know what? I believe that we can learn from this and that we can move on, because that's what life is really all about. That life is not something to where you're never going to go through anything. As long as you live, honey, you're going to go through something. You're going to go through the good, the bad, the indifferent, and the ugly. Yes, you will. But sometimes you have to, pull up, your bootstraps and say, you know something, I'm not going to let this take us down. I'm not going to let this destroy us. We are going to work this thing out, and we're going to work together, because we do understand that this is not a fairy tale. You understand, you know, where you know, he comes riding on a white horse, or she's riding on a white horse, and da 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 da, you know, is saving the day, and we're dancing in you know, the moonlight, and we're never gonna have no problems. And no, baby, no. Life is not like that. There's always going to be a challenge. There's going to be situations. There's going to be problems. There's going to be mistakes made. You understand? But when you have respect for one another, you understand. When you are mature, when you know how to compromise, when you know how to forgive, you will be able, you understand, to see this thing through. You know, you will be able to receive the relationships through. Yes, you can do this. You definitely can. But it does take work. I would sit here and be lying if I did not tell you. You understand that out of 32 years, I did not have to work at it, or my husband did not have to work at it. You know, you got to really, you know, you just got to, you know, be able to sit down to think. You know, sometimes you got to talk to yourself and snap back into reality. You know, because that's what life is. That is how life works. You understand? That is just how life works. It's not easy. It's not a step over. It's not a game. You know, it's not sugar and spice and everything nice. Challenges will come. But you have it in you to be better, to do better. You understand, to be fair, to compromise, to be mature, you know, to work hard. You have it in you. You just got to pull it out. Pull it out. Being in you can't be lazy and be in a relationship. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know, you have to definitely work at it. Don't look over the fence at somebody else's relationship and try to implement what somebody else is doing in yours. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to know what works for you and your significant other. You got to know what works for you, and don't sit there and, you know, be envious of what somebody else is doing, because you don't know what's going on behind somebody's closed door. You don't know what it is that they're working out or working at. You understand? You don't know. So don't, you know, be looking up. The wrong thing that people do is always looking in somebody else's backyard and thinking that their backyard is better. Listen to me. People, you know, people know how to cut their grass. You understand? People know how to beautify their lawn. You understand? Because to show you something beautiful. You understand? Do you get what I'm saying? You understand? All of us can beautify and show something that's, you know, beautiful, and it's great, and there's no problems. All of us know how to do that, honey. You understand? But behind them closed door, that's where the real work is. That's where the real lawn, and the real lawn has some weeds. You understand? The real lawn grass is high and needs to be cut. You know, because that's what relationships is. It's the get down in the dirty. You understand what I'm saying? So don't be sitting up there, you know, looking in somebody else's yard and being envious and jealous and trying to implement, you know, people show you what they want to show you. You know, we all do it. You understand? We all do it. We all show people what we want them to see. You understand? The facade. You understand? But we dare people to look, you know, behind our closed doors, honey. You know, so don't do that. You know, be your own originators and do what works for you guys. You understand? Not looking at Betty and John, because Betty and John got their own problem and their situation. You just don't. So in this, you know, video, we're talking about, you know, working at relationships and keeping the relationships together. You know, we're not talking about when it's time to leave, because guess what? There are times, you know, in certain relationships, there's time to leave, but that's another video. You understand? So, you know, the comment and be like, yeah, but sometimes it don't work. That's a different comment for the other video I'm going to do, not for this one. This one is about making relationships, you know, work. when they're workable, but don't worry about it because Auntie got something, a part 2 when it's time to go. But for this one, if you enjoyed this video and you have enjoyed some of the tips, put it down in the comment. Let me hear, even if you didn't enjoy it, you understand? Because I respect everybody's comments, you understand? Because we are all different. We all think different. And Auntie over here is grown and mature. You understand? And she can handle it. All right. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. Leave me a comment. Don't forget, did you give Sister Cole a thumbs up? Okay. All right. Don't forget them thumbs up. All right. And like I said, leave the comment because I love to hear from you guys. I absolutely do. And I want to thank you in advance for supporting my channel. I really, really appreciate it, you guys. I'm on that road to 1,000. Tell a friend and tell a friend to tell a friend. Okay. Because the sisters trying, to reach them goals. Okay. All right. Don't forget that you are blessed and highly favored. Mwah.